Well, my speculative desire is for the ghoul next door. Your favorite ghoul fiend.
Hello, my spec guns, a desire is blood the ghoul next door, your favorite ghoul fiend. And this would be episode 2 of my Halloween 2026. And as I mentioned in the last episode, I am doing a Halloween bingo over the course between halfway to Halloween and Halloween over the course of, what did I calculate, 26 weeks or something like that. 42 tasks, but I'll also be having a few other random Halloween related things in here as well. So 42 tasks on the official bingo card, and then a few other random throughout. So for today's task, I picked watch a new to you horror movie. A new to you horror movie. So that's just, it doesn't have to be a new release, it just has to be something you've never seen before. And I picked the movie Cell, based on a Stephen King novel, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. So this movie starts off, Cusack's character, he's on the phone with his wife and son while he's in an airport. He just got off a plane. He's in an airport. He's coming to see them. But he's on a payphone because his cell phone has died. And while he's on the payphone, he starts to notice that everyone in the airport has begun to shake and convulse and start to foam at the mouth. Then they begin to become very violent and start chasing each other and killing each other. So he manages to escape, and he finds himself in the subway. The train has stopped. Himself and a few other people start to walk the train tracks, trying to find a way out. Himself and the Samuel L. Jackson character, they make it to the surface through a manhole, and make their way to an apartment. I said his wife and his wife. It's actually his ex-wife. Sorry. They make it to his apartment, to the Cusack character, to his apartment, and they find one of his neighbors, a young teenager. The three of them go on a cross-country trek trying to get to the house of the ex-wife and his son. Along the way, they discover that these hordes, they refer to them as flocks, are acting in tune as like a flock of birds or a beehive or something like that. There's a hive mind to them, and they all seem to have a ability to vocalize static. They bump into a few more survivors. They lose a few more survivors. They end up at the house of his ex-wife, who has sadly turned into what they're calling phoners. And they have to dispatch of her. As they make their way looking for his son has left him a note saying he was under the impression that there is a place close by where there are no phones. So the sun has set off a day or two ahead of them to this location. So of course they've got to go to this location, find them, and they meet up with a pregnant woman and a guy in a ice cream truck. Couldn't remember what it was. It was an ice cream truck. And the guy hands him a phone and says, "You'll know what to do when the time comes." And then the guy proceeds to set off a bomb. So our lead character, our two lead characters, I should say, the Cusack character and the Samuel L. Jackson character, they kind of debate what to do, and Cusack's character goes off in the ice cream truck and kind of lets everyone else who's left to defend for themselves, because he's going to look for his son. He does find his son, kind of in the middle of this really large field full of these zombie phone creatures. I forgot to mention that everyone has been having nightmares throughout this whole process of the same man, a guy in a hoodie. And our lead character admits that he had seen the guy in the hoodie in his dreams months before and had created a comic book about him. This is why he becomes the lead character. And as he tries to fight the red hoodie guy, who everyone has started to call the king of the internet, he finds his son in this circle, this group, but it's too late. And you see him take the ice cream truck full of explosives and blow everybody up. Next scene, he's walking along with his son, and you're thinking, oh, okay, he's died and gone to heaven, right? This is his heaven. We're faked out, and then we see the scene, the final scene. It's nighttime. The ice cream truck is still there, and he has become one of the hive mind zombies. Well, yeah, so I watched that, and it was new to me, and I don't know, I don't know what to think about it. After I watched it, I kind of looked it up, because all I knew was that it was based on a Stephen King novel. And I wanted to see if there was a lot of discrepancy between the movie and the novel, but I didn't really get that far. I'm definitely putting the book on my to-read list. I don't know if I'll ever visit this movie again, but I can say I saw it. I'm not exactly sure what the point of it was, but what I did learn was that this is supposedly one of the worst adaptations, like that it goes so far off of the book. So that's interesting. This is why I really want to read the book now, because it has gone so far off of the book from what my research has brought up. The best I can figure is that this was just not even a subtle metaphor, not a metaphor at all, just a plain old, hey, this is what the internet and cell phones and all that crap is doing to us. We're becoming zombies, and there's really nothing we can do about it. Which, there's a lot to be said about that. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Like I said, I don't think I'll see this one again. It was an interesting take on zombies, though. That I really liked. I liked that it was something different, but it did remind me of just The Walking Dead. I don't know when the original Walking Dead comic books came out. I think it was the 90s. But I really don't know. The book apparently was written in the early 2000s. So The Walking Dead was already kind of in the culture. But it also, there's quite a few scenes where the zombie creatures, they call them, some of them call them the phoners, and some of them just call them the flock, and there was something else they called them that I don't remember because I wasn't that enthused with it, but there's a couple of scenes where they stop and they're in total unison with this high-pitched wail that they do, this high-pitched scream. And all I could think was, oh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Because it was that scene. It was, so if you took Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Walking Dead and mush them together, that's basically what this is. And there's really two things that Stephen King does repeatedly well. Those are his zombie apocalypse style stories, where you have a group of survivors trying to beat a plague, and isolation horror. This was a road trip, so this was his, in line with The Stand. If you didn't know better, you'd almost think he was trying to redo The Stand for you know, a technological viewpoint. But it also reminded me a little bit of The Mist. That one, you know, has a not so happy ending. Yeah, well, I would love to have a more in-depth, smarter review on this, but you kind of have to take this one on the surface. I'm sure that there is a really deep undertone to this one that I'm just not getting today. Yeah, I was just thinking, I know I just said I probably won't revisit this, but I actually might. I might give it a second shot and see if after I've read the book, I'm going to have to go and buy the book. I think I will read the book and then give the movie a second shot and see if there's anything I've really missed. But surface, it is a guy desperate to find his family amidst the apocalypse. Cut and dry. But you got to wonder if Stephen King, the master of horror, has his opinion on the internet and cell phones, which clearly he does, given that's the vehicle of the virus. And we never find out what causes it. We never find out the reason why somebody would have done this. We don't even really get a backstory on the hoodie guy. It's almost like in this movie, pieces don't match. It's almost like they kind of try to patchwork things together. It's missing something, and I'm sure the novel goes into more depth. So that was, yeah, this is episode 2. So that was the movie. I can understand why it got bad reviews. I really can. But at the same time, I see where he was going with it. There is, if you watch the first hour and then turn it off, it's a good movie. It's that last 45 minutes or so that suck. So, all right, I will be back in my next episode. I don't know what my next topic will be. Just taking things off the bingo card. So, until next time, creeping screams.